welcome back to another edition of Gaming with God. I'm your host, Grumpy Old Dude. We are going to revisit the very beginning of a career in U-boat. Excuse me. In the third patrol of our previous run-through, we ran into a glitch at the end of that patrol, and it turns out that was a result of some mods I was using. Speaking with the mod author, Link, really nice guy, by the way, knows his stuff. Really knows his shit. He has a consolidated mod, UBE, U-Boat Extended, or Expanded, that includes a number of mods I was using, and it's got a few other addendums as well. And then as a merged mod, it's been cleaned. Now, what that means is duplications and dead files and whatnot have all been removed. From my days with Morrowind and using mods in Morrowind and again in Oblivion and in Skyrim from Bethesda, when you use a merged mod that has been cleaned, you are generally running a more stable platform than when you run its individual components, where there may be some conflicts between them that aren't necessarily readily apparent and resolved. So what I've done is changed my mod list substantially, and I thought I would start there. Go back, start all over with the very first patrol, but start by going over the mods that I use. So that's what I'm going to do here. This is the load order. These mods are listed in the same order that the game loads them. Historical flags identification. This mod allows or causes the game to display historically accurate flags, which means that the swastika shows on the German flags. U-Boat Expanded, that's what I was talking about by the merged mod. Slot machine has extra slots in the galley storage. That is recommended by the author of more realistic guns. I'll cover that when we get down to it. Compass navigation. Custom actions is required by improved ballast control and start-stop alarm button. More officers on board, expanded crew. This allows us to have up to 27 enlisted men on the boat. I doubt I'll go beyond 24. I may not go beyond 22. More realistic guns. This mod reduces the effectiveness of the 88 deck gun and the anti-aircraft machine guns as far as anti-ship goes. It also dramatically reduces the on-deck ammunition storage, which means much ammunition gets moved below deck into the galley storage area, which is why the author suggests that you do that slot machine galley storage. Realistic T5 torpedoes. This is the T5 was an acoustic homing torpedo developed by Germany, and this makes it accurate function in the game more historically accurate. Magnetic detonators, better dive times, no more heart attacks. When crew morale bottoms out, your crewmen will either panic, suffer a heart attack, or become what's known as a sea wolf, a stoic, unshakable character. I'm of the opinion that anybody who's likely to have suffered a stress heart attack in a submarine probably got weeded out in training, so I like the no more heart attacks. BDU convoy reports is a mod I really like. Can you tell I like it? This allows you on your ship to receive BDU reports of sighted convoys. Greatly enhances your ability to intercept targets. Radio stations gives you more choices there. Scrap metal at the warehouse, authentic goods, changes the graphics displayed for foods and stuff. And even better coffee, makes coffee stack better. You can put more than 5 in a bin. And it also makes it much more expensive because coffee is actually very valuable in the game. The way it restores energy levels as though you'd rested for like 8 hours, and you don't have to leave your station to do it. So it's a really highly beneficial thing, and this makes the coffee very expensive, which is rightful. Okay, now I'm going to hit the play button very shortly and load up to the game screen. I'm going to stop the recording while that happens. You won't see much of any kind of a change during the playthrough because it'll start and then just pick up with the title screen. We'll be back to the recording very shortly. Okay, we're back to the recording again. Now we are at the title screen. I am going to first go to the load screen, and I'm going to delete a couple of save games here. And there we go. I have played a few games with the new mods installed, and I had saved some things. I want to start all over from scratch and just have a brand new install here for this game. We are going to start a new game. We are going to go with U-96 out of La Rochelle. The other option is U-552 out of the port of Wilhelmshaven. Then you've got two test campaigns that I'm just really not familiar with. Port of Wilhelmshaven and Port of Kiel. I'm going to stay right now with U-96 out of the port of La Rochelle. Now again, I am going, well, we're not there yet. Here's the settings that I'm using now. I've jumped the realism up from 62 to 71%. No big deal. I've added realistic bilge, which now means that you get some water leakage through things like the propeller shaft and torpedo tubes and stuff like that. I have added the economic difficulty. I have raised it from medium to hard. I think the economy was too easy to exploit before and have endless funds. Interesting thing here, the units of distance and display. I've got it set for nautical miles and knots. I was under the impression not long ago that a nautical mile was about 2,200 yards. It's not. It's about 2,025 yards. So that's a nautical mile, roughly 2,025 yards. If you change this into kilometers and knots, or kilometers and kilometers per hour, the realism actually drops. It's interesting. 65% when you just use metric units of measure. Mix them, kilometers and knots, it's 68%. And nautical, it goes to 71. I think it's interesting that changes things that much, just because people aren't used to thinking in terms of how far is a nautical mile. It's roughly 2,025 yards, which is to say probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.3, 2.2 kilometers to a nautical mile. Somewhere in that neighborhood. Okay, we hit next. And then we hit it again. Here we go. Here's our captain. Again, you can change things here. On his appearance, it is strictly cosmetic. It makes no difference in terms of gameplay. Okay. Here we go. Let's take his cap away here. Let's go with none. Oh, we got a bald guy. Let's give him some hair. Which hair do we want to go here? Oh, let's go with number 1. You give him a pipe or eye patches. Nope, those different hats. There's his cap back. Here's his pipe. Eyeglasses, eye patch, pipe. Give him a beard. All kinds of things. And again, these are strictly cosmetic changes. They have no impact on play. But it's something you can do if you want to. Okay? So have fun with it. You can change the name of your captain. And there we are, Captain Grumpy. While this screen loads, again, I will pause the recording. This takes about 2.5 to 3 minutes. We'll see you shortly. Okay, here we are at the Port of La Rochelle. I've already hit the pause button, and we are ready to get started prepping our boat for our first mission. I had said that munition storage on the deck was greatly reduced, yet we've still got 4,000 rounds up here for the machine gun. Now remember, in the previous run-throughs, the deck gun was holding around 80 shells. Now it's got 40, and it's not going to hold that many as far as reloads go. Let's take a look here in the storage room. Here's the expanded storage. See all these empty slots here. We've got each unit here is 5 pounds. We've got 200 pounds of fish. We've got 300 pounds of potatoes, 250 pounds of pork, and 250 pounds of canned bread. Move the ammunition down here. See how I split that up? Doesn't stack it in 40 units anymore, 28. Move that up to there. Move my foods over to here. I just do that because that's what I do. I don't really have a reason for it. Deck gun storage. 384 kilos is all it's allowed to hold now. Yet we've got 548 in there at the moment. As that munition is consumed and we try to reload the deck gun, until we're below 384, we can't bring any ammo up. The AA gun. Right now I got 1,280 kilos of ammunition in there, 4,000 rounds. It will only hold 96 kilos. So this is going to, once it goes away and we use it, we'll have very little ammo for it up there on deck. Which is, again, why they recommended, that they being the authors, said, you know, you probably want to do this because you're going to have your ammo sitting below decks. Okay? So there's that. So now let's go up to and begin getting things ready. Now, the first thing we need to do, really, I think, is get our crew management set up. Like I said, we're allowed, with the crew expanded crew bod, we're allowed 27 enlisted on board. Let's get as many as we currently have available to us, which is 21. Excuse me, which is enough to start with quite adequately. Previous vanilla without the mod, you start with 18, so 21 is right out the gate. Excuse me, an improvement. Schedule. If you watched my earlier videos, you know I don't run 3 shifts. I run 2 shifts, 6 on, 6 off. And the way I'm doing this, you just hold the left mouse button and drag it across, and it changes the colors. Here we go. 6 on, 6 off, 6 on, 6 off. Off, on, off, on. Always somebody's on shift, 24 hours, 7 days. Grumpy is the senior watch officer. He'll take the day shift, and that means the evening shift. Be off in the wee hours of the morning and the afternoon. Wachter is our junior officer. He will get the graveyard shift, which means he also has the afternoon shift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Right there. So now they're on opposing shift. Ooh, Wachter's the engineer. Hagenau is who I want there. However, each of my deck officers will need an engineer slash mechanic with them, so there we go. Oldorp with Grumpy, Wachter with Hagenau, and Hans-Jürgen is our radio guy. I don't schedule him. He'll just get up and down as he needs to in order to handle the radio duties, the hydrophone, that kind of thing. Now we go to the task menu. I mentioned in the previous playthrough, do not hit the numbers key here, or a number pad key, or the number row across the top of your keyboard to change these values. Use the shift and the scroll wheel on your mouse button. When you type that number in, you just go over here and you hit an 8 on the keypad. It introduces a glitch. It's a known bug. I don't know if they're going to resolve it anytime in the near future or not. I don't know. So don't do it. Hit shift. Now I'm going to turn the volume up here so you can hear my mouse wheel click. I'm warning you, I'm turning the volume up so you don't blow your ears out. But I want you to hear the mouse wheel as it clicks. I want the highest priority to be nav. But it didn't change. Well, yeah, it did. And as soon as you click somewhere else, you can see that it did. Now, the higher the value, the higher its priority. Second priority to me is observation. Third is calming down panicking crew members. Then we come over here. We're going to give him a 7 in first aid and a 5 on cooking. Okay, Captain cooks a meal every now and then for folks that could help him around, unless he's a really shitty cook. Hagenau, I want the exact same values as for Grumpy, but I do want Haganah to play cards with the crew. That'll again help morale. Haganah is basically the XO. Okay. So we go to the 7 here for medic. And we go to a 5 for him for cooking, with a 6 over here in the cards. So there's our 2 watch officers. Okay, they're all set up. Now we want to set up our 2 mechanics. I do not want any mechanics. I used to, but I don't anymore. I don't want them loading, and I don't want them warming torpedoes without my telling them to do so, preheating and loading. All right? Reason I don't want them doing that. If I have fired 3 torpedoes into a ship or a convoy, I targeted a couple different freighters, and I fired some torpedoes, and all of a sudden a destroyer starts bearing down on me, and I dive deep and I start running silent to try and hide from that destroyer. I don't want them going over and reloading the torpedo tubes. That makes a lot of noise. I don't want noise when I'm trying to hide from a destroyer. Highest priority, I want them on the engines. That's number 1. Number 2, I want them fixing parts, fixing the boat. Working at the work desk and salvaging replacement parts, that becomes their 3rd priority. Medic, they fix the boat, they can fix people too, or sort of. Different tools, but same idea. They will also play cards with the crew. And they will maybe cook every now and then. Okay? So there we've got our mechanic and our engineer all lined up. Now our radio guy. Top priority. I want equal priority between the hydrophone and the radio. If we're subsurface, I want him on the hydrophone. If we're on the surface, I want him on the radio. He is also my chief medic officer. He is the one who's primarily tasked with first aid. And maybe he can cook too, I don't know. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, he could maybe play cards now and then. Let's do that. Okay. So there we have your priorities on their tasks. Everybody's got their job, officer-wise, and the precedence in which they're supposed to be doing them. Now we go to enlisted. 2 shifts again. I want second priority to be observation. First priority is the engine. Second is the observation post. I don't want 2 tasks with an 8. I don't want 2 tasks with a 7. I don't want 2 tasks with a 6. And I don't want them on the scope at all. Again, when I'm just running below the surface, but I'm trying to be a little sneaky about it, I might draw the scope down. I don't want one of my enlisted guys walking by and thinking, gee, I wonder what's up there. And he pops the scope up, and a destroyer who happens to be nearby sees it, and now we're had. I don't want that. So I take that off. I'm going to put a 5 here for valves. Take this down to a 4, that to a 3, and that to a 2. Okay? So there's my enlisted with their tasks. There are 8 tasks to be performed throughout the day on the boat. Okay? I think we want probably 2 guys here at the helmsman station. So that's 9 people. Okay? Same thing on the evening shift. It's 8 tasks, 2 at the helm station, 9 people. So I am going to assign 11 to each shift. Now, why did I do that when I just said it takes 9? Because I want a couple of extra people so that they can kind of relieve each other, and they're not 6 solid hours of mopping the floor or whatever. They can work off on and off and kind of trade a little bit here and there, and everybody gets a little break. 2 guys go to Grumpy, 2 guys go to Haganah. These do not come out of these 11. That's in addition to those 11, but only 2 of these, for the most part, will ever be on at a time. So that's 13. 2 to Oldorp, 2 to Wachter. Again, only 2 of those will be on time most of the time. So we're at 15. 2 to Jurgen, we're at 17, which gives us 4 people in their bunks sleeping. If by chance I am working all my officers, that's 21 people. That's what I have on the boat, is 21 enlisted. So in that case, everything is manned. All right, with the exception of these 2 extra bodies here. There's 2 guys that catch a break regardless of the workload. Okay, that should help a little bit with morale. All right. And something going on. My dog is yakking. Somebody's at the door. I'll be back momentarily. Okay, and we're back. So that's the crew management screen. Everything's all set up. Now what I suggest we do is we save the game. Crew management done. Oops. And my caps lock on. Here we go. Crew management done. All right. Now, why would you want to save it right there? When you start a new game, instead of starting all over and redoing the crew management over and over and over and over again, you can just load that screen right there. Crew management done. That's all you've done. You haven't screwed up any missions. You haven't taken a mission. You haven't done anything other than prepare your crew. Okay. Still got to go to logistics, still got to prep the boat and do all that stuff. All right. So here we go. We have 4 empty bow tubes. We have 1 slot open for a bow torpedo. We look at the stern. We have an empty stern tube, and we have 1 torpedo in the storage rack. So they will start loading those on their own shortly here. Again, we had 500 pounds. Yep, 500 kilos of food. I said pounds earlier, 200 pounds. We had 200 kilos of fish, which is like 440 pounds. Kilos, 2.2 pounds. We have 500 kilos currently in the galley. It can store 600. So we're going to add 100 kilos of something in there. Let's go up here to the logistics office, the warehouse. Show me what you got there, logistics guy. All right, items. See, the coffee is $1,500. That's expensive right now. We only have a budget initially of $6,000 to prep our boat for our first patrol. We're going to hold off on buying more coffee and such. Torpedoes. Right now, we only have 1 open spot in the bow storage. We are going to top off our fuel. We're going to come up here to food. I want 100 kilos of cheese. I also want 120 kilos of vegetables. Vegetables is how you fight scurvy when you're out to sea. Okay. Now we look at ammunition. First thing I'm going to do is go up here to the deck gun. I don't like star shells. Get rid of them. Here we go. That gave us back 100 to our budget. Big deal. It also took 100 kilos out of, or whatever the hell the weight was. It took some of the weight out of what we were overdone on that. Now, we go to the storage room. And we buy 28 AP rounds. How many more can I buy? 28 more. Let's do that. Let's load that stuff on boat. It's going to take 3 days to load that stuff. While that's ongoing, the crew will be loading your 5 torpedo tubes, your 4 bow and your 1 stern tube. Okay, those have now been loaded, as you can see here. And we have 4 empty storage, 4 empty spots in our bow storage for reload torpedoes. Check our stern tube, confirm that it's been loaded. It has, and we have 1 there, so we have 5 empty torpedo storage slots. I'm also going to do something right now that you don't have to do it right now, but you need to do it. I'm going to run my compressors when I'm on the surface and make sure my ballast tanks are absolutely full of compressed air. That's one of the nitpicks I have with the game. I believe that the officers should do that on their own. They don't. It's one of the many things you have to specifically tell them. Inhale. Okay, officer, now exhale. Okay, now you got to redo it again. Inhale again. Exhale again. They don't seem to know enough to do that on their own. Okay. I am also going to spend 1,000 units from my budget and buy one spare part. Okay, I don't like not having ample spare parts. Okay. Phone interruption. Let's see here. I believe we had just bought a spare part that we don't have on board yet to consolidate with these 4. 3 minutes to load that spare part. Now it should be loaded, and hopefully I can position this so I can grab that and stack it up here to make 5. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to move those 20 cheeses into there. And we're in good shape. All right. Now what we need to do is go get our mission. We get that from the leading officer. For our first mission, he's right here by the gangplank. After this first mission, he will be over here by this car. And this is who we go see to change out our crew, add to our crew, so on and so forth. The recruitment officer. For now, we want the leading officer to get our orders. They are. Our last, we haven't gone on a patrol. This will be our first. How can they be deeply impressed by our last one? Okay. Again, 3 sets of patrols to choose from, 3 assignments, 3 sets of orders, 3 sets of difficulty. 1 bar for the easiest, 2 yellow for not the easiest, and 3 red for this one could be tough. Let's take a look at them here. Well, War Correspondent gives this is the easiest mission. 4,000 reward to the budget, 4,000 to the budget, 5,000 to the budget, so that's 13,000 to the budget. Get an extra communications officer, get 150% prestige, which means we could move this communications officer onto the crew, and we would still be halfway toward having room for another officer. That's a lot of reward for the easiest mission. Compare that, 13,000, to this one, 12,000, and only 66% reward prestige. Or the hardest one here at 16,000 and 100%. This is a nitpicky bitch I have with the game. Here we have the easiest mission of the 3. 4,000 tons, 6,000 tons, right? 7,000, and 10,000. So the easiest to sink, 1,070 nautical miles, 1,200 miles, 1,300 miles. Easiest patrol distance to cover. And then we have the War Correspondent, which is not a difficult mission as long as you're paying attention. That's a lot of reward for the easiest mission. Should pass on it, actually. If I was seriously gaming it, or seriously looking at a career here, I'd probably pass on it because it's just too damn much reward for too little risk. But for the video, I'm going to do it. I'm taking it. We're going to take the money from the BDU. We're going to take them for what they'll give us. And we'll go do this, and we'll come out of this smelling like fat rat roses here. Okay. Unless we do something really stupid and get sunk. And I say we, because it would be you guys making it happen, not me. I wouldn't get us sunk. Yeah, right. Okay. No kidding, detection. We're in a channel feeding a friendly port, and we see and are seen by friendly ships. Duh. Oh, here we go. This is what I thought about. Why you got to pay attention with the war correspondent. Little exclamation part here. We'll have the captain welcome him on board. Here we go. Wonder how long that's been on. I've been BSing and running off at the mouth. That's how you blow the war correspondent mission, by the way, just for the record. Alright, here we go. Until we get to the open sea, we had 48 time compression, most we can do. Now, I'm going to steer away from the 6500 time compression for two reasons. One is the war correspondent mission. Under 6500 TC, when his exclamation point comes up, it ties how long that will be up to game time, which, just to show you, well, I can't now. We can't go to 6500. You see how the clock is moving? You can visibly see it. That's at 48 times, right? Watch how fast that clock moves at 6500. Well, here's 1800. See, it keeps zeroing out because things are happening. We detection by friendly boats, so it won't go 1800. I have to wait till we get out of there. See, this pisses me off when you can't. It's just ridiculous that it stops time compression for friendly boats seeing you and you seeing friendly boats. You're leaving the port. You're going to see friendly boats. You're going to be seen by friendly boats. There is no reason for stopping time compression for that. Travel mode. And there's 1800. Now here's 6500. Okay, it's scary how fast time passes. 1744, 1827. That was 45 minutes almost in just a blink of an eye. Versus at 48, there's a minute, there's a minute, there's a minute, there's a minute. Okay. Oh, yeah. Here he is right here again. Where is he? He's right there. The captain says, what do you need? He asked Grumpy if he'd explain how U-boats dive. There are 5 ballast tanks that are flooded front to rear. Glad to help. Now you'll write about that, and that will advance his mission. Now he has another question. What is the use for the compressed air? Most important usage is to blow the ballast from the ballast tanks. Okay, he's happy with that answer. We go back to time compression here. The second reason I dislike using the 6500 TC, excuse me, time compression, is the new mod, the BDU Convoys reports. Those reports only stay up for so long in terms of game time. At 6500 TC, it's real easy for that report to come up and go away before you can stop the time compression and receive the report. Those things need to be tied to real time, not game time. My opinion. They should be tied to 60 seconds real time. Shouldn't be difficult to program that. Every computer out there has an internal clock. Kind of surprised. Normally we've had a convoy report by now, or more than 2 interactions with the correspondent, but we're all right.
Change course.
I didn't like how close it was coming to the coast here. There we are. Correspondent up. One other question. And this one will be on Hagenau to answer. Whoops. Because Grumpy's sleeping. Confused, he reaches out and asks Hagenau, why is there a second periscope? That's better for spotting aircraft and for navigation. Glad to help. Okay, and that advances the war correspondent story some more. So like I said, a war correspondent mission is not difficult to do as long as you watch and you don't miss too many of those exclamation points. But the game doesn't have a manual to tell you that, so the first time you do it, you may not know to interact with him each time that pops up. Okay, Grumpy's back on shift, so it mentions the last meal was very tasty. Where's the food stored? It is actually near the toilet. Yep, that's where it's stored, near the toilet. Okay, you hear that weather? Look at that. It's 7 p.m. and it's raining. It's a nasty bit of weather out there. 21 knot winds. Okay, it's nasty out there. Here we go. Center of the view. 1800 TC, there we go.
Set a course to these coordinates. Set a course to these coordinates. Yes, sir. Set a course to these coordinates.
Now, his plot won't last that long. Something will change it long before he gets that far. Something's liable to change it before he even gets to his patrol area. BDU convoy report will probably cite something along the Spanish coast here, heading to or from Gibraltar in the Mediterranean Sea. We will find out. As the time tick, 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 tick. Bye. Sub-sims are an entirely different genre in computer gaming. You can mod this until you have almost hyper-realism. Set your difficulty levels and such that survival is really quite difficult and tricky. You can simplify it, make it almost like an arcade game, overly simplified. Crash Dive, for example. I'm looking for something a little more advanced than Silent Service 2 ever was, but not as complex as Jane's I, was it 688? 668, 688i, I think it was. Okay, we are in our patrol zone. We get 500 added to our budget if we bother to radio back to headquarters and tell them we have arrived on station and are beginning our patrol. So we do that, and our budget went up from $850 to $1350. We'll take the free 500 Reichsmarks. Thank you. Weather considerably better. Winds are down to 6 knots instead of 21. Much gooder. Used to have a major as an instructor in one of the courses I took when I was in the Army. He would always say much gooder to the class. And in those days, in the late 70s, early 80s, even into the late 80s and early 90s, most military types smoked. And we would get regular smoke breaks during the course of a day of academics in the classroom. And on those smoke breaks, we would all laugh about how often he had said much gooder. And we would count how many times he said much gooder. And it wasn't until a year or two later, maybe, that I realized that we were all paying so much attention to hear him say much gooder that we accidentally heard everything else he said too. Yeah. We thought he was so dumb, ain't much good. Yeah, he played us, didn't he? Mm-hmm. He knew exactly what he was doing. Here we go, 1800 TC, not 48. When you go to this map, 48 TC is the max. Then you go back to here, you have to do what I didn't do, and that is remember to put it back at 1800. Because if you think you're going to run 1,000 or 1,100 nautical miles at 48 time per compression to do your mission, it's going to take quite some time. Just to give you an example, at 8 knots, 1,100 miles, you got 1, 27, 3, 24 is 34. So 134 hours. At 48 time compression, you're still talking 3 hours. 3 be 944. So just under 3 hours of real time at 48 TC to do 1,070 nautical miles at 8 knots. I don't care to sit here for 3 hours while it does its patrol. Now, we're not getting radio reports from BDU right now. We will. So how are we going to find targets? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to send our radio man to bed. It is 2 in the afternoon and he is just about exhausted. We're going to put him to bed. Get him some sleep. And he's just about fully rested. Here we are at 9 o'clock at night. There he goes. It is now 10:10 at night. You can see the visibility is quite limited. We are going to go to periscope depth.
Periscope depth.
Excuse me. And we are going to wake our radio guy up and put him on the hydrophone. And we go to 12 speed time compression.
Electric motors.
And since we're not trying to evade discovery, I am going to run the ventilation so that I don't run out of good air. And I am going to go to 1800 time compression, which means watch the battery and watch the time of day as we wait for him to discover something. Propeller noise, that's what I wanted. Good God. 37 to 82 ships, somewhere between 40 and 80 vessels in this convoy. This sumbitch is huge. Briefly, I'm going to hit the 1800 to get a movement on this convoy. It's coming towards us.
Set an interception
All right.
course.
At 5 knots, we will intercept them in 5 hours. We are not going to be submerged for 5 hours doing 5 knots. We are going to surface. As we surface, we are going to have our engineers run the ballast, the compressors to fill the ballast tanks. We are now doing 10 knots, not 5. It'll take us 2.5 hours to cover that ground. So we are safe running on the surface until we run the full 25 nautical mile plot. There's 1 more nautical mile. There we go. And now we go back
Periscope depth.
subsurface again.
Switch to electric motors.
Skipper, I've detected a big group of ships.
Oh.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Yep.
Set a course to these coordinates.
You're going to surface again?
Blow the tanks.
And we're going to run for 1 hour. Until it's 6 in the morning right now.
Switch to diesel.
We're going to run until 7 a.m. on the surface. And run our compressors again. So until 7 a.m. Shit, that's 7:14. I ran right by him.
Change course.
Damn it. Ran right by him. Oh, shit.
Alarm.
Skipper,
Take your
enemy
positions.
destroyer on the horizon.
Ah, shit. Yeah, we have a destroyer there.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Periscope depth.
Change course.
Here we go.
Faster.
Speeds that. Since we are just now beginning and he's been up all night, we're going to do a coffee for our hydrophone radio guy. And he went to the radio. I want him on the hydrophone.
Aye, aye, sir.
Part of me wants to radio in that we've spotted this convoy. I'm not going to because I don't. This got 40 to 80 vessels. It's going to have escorts. I know that for an absolute fact. Despite the obvious reason that I've seen a destroyer, this many ships is going to be escorted. I don't want them to intercept my radio transmission and know that they've been spotted. What's this big sumbitch? Battleship? Yeah.
Change course.
Okay.
Faster, faster.
We have a battleship. To try and position soar. Don't know what class battleship yet. I put myself in a bad way. I ran the time compression for too long when I was cutting across the front of the convoy. I wanted to go all the way across the front of it. And that was my own damn fault. And now I put myself in a difficult tactical situation. I have to run at speed in order to get in position to try and hit that battleship. And running at speed means making noise. Fortunately, it's relatively calm seas. I am still going to do this just out of a preponderance of safety.
Aye, aye, sir.
I need him on the engines because I need the extra speed. I'm going to put my engineer who was off shift onto... Oh, shit.
Calculate torpedo course.
Skipper.
Calculate torpedo course.
I need to know his speed.
Change course.
Uh, 10% firing solution, which isn't shit. I need to know his speed. 11. Come on. Ambushing that destroyer means losing any opportunity at him. And I think this might be a situation where wisdom is a better part of valor. Ooh. If I ambush that destroyer, I can maybe get these 2 tankers. Maybe. Oh.
Aye, aye, sir.
Let's get some torpedoes warmed up.
Change course. We're slowing down.
Still don't have a speed on that destroyer. 40% firing solution. The convoy is probably moving in the 6, 7, 8 knot speed range. If all of a sudden he's doing 20, 25, 30 knots, then I know he's spotted me and he's doing 11 knots. That's enough to be concerned that he's figured out we're out here.
We're slowing down.
"12 knots, he's speeding up. I don't like that. Get that torpedo warmed up, for Christ's sake. Shut the gyro compass off. Get back on the depth steering. He's still holding at 12 knots, but he is also turning towards us.
Change course. Faster, faster.
15 knots, he is speeding up. I think they found us on sonar.
We're slowing down.
Start reversing engines. Warm up another torpedo. "33 knots, they've got us. Give me that second torpedo warmed up. I am backing away from him now at maximum speed. Since they know we're there.
Skipper. Affirmative. On duty.
Let's get him warming up the torpedo as well. He's closing at a very high rate of speed. Let's get him on the scope to help with the last point or two of torpedo solution. Come on, Hagen, I'll get your ass in gear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Calculate torpedo course. Set a course to these coordinates.
Yes, sir.
He's making 33 knots. He is at about a half a mile.
Change course.
Yes, sir.
26 knots.
Change course.
Maybe he doesn't have a firm halt lock on us. He's slowing 21 knots.
Faster, faster.
Start warming that last torpedo.
Yes, sir.
He's slowed to 18 knots.
Flood tube 1. Flood tube 2.
Tube 1 flooded. Tube 2 ready.
Fire.
Depth charges. Depth charges. Skipper. 40 seconds. Seconds.
See if we get him.
Seconds.
Faster, faster.
Seconds to impact.
I think we might be lucky and get him.
It's a miss. It's a hit. It's a miss.
First one missed.
Major hull damage.
Yeah, we hurt him pretty bad.
Faster, faster.
Destroyer at
12 o'clock.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Aye, aye, sir.
There's another destroyer up there.
Skipper.
Calculate torpedo course. Set a course to these coordinates.
Aye, aye, sir.
He doesn't appear to be on fire, though. That's problematic. But he took that into bow. He's nose down into the water, but his nose is still above the water line. Oh, yep, he's going to go down. He's going down.
Change course.
Aye, aye, sir.
There it goes. The bow is now below the certain water level. It's going down. All right. So we got him. Which does us no good if we don't capitalize now on that hit. So we're not going to be able to get to the battleship.
Set a course to these coordinates.
I can get to him. I don't know if I can get to him or not. Gonna try.
Tube 1 loaded.
Good. Now load another one.
Move! Come on, quickly!
And here comes another destroyer.
Skipper.
Almost has him in hydrophone range. He was in hydrophone range till I ran up to flank speed. And And then the noise I made by going that speed reduced the hydrophone's effective range to only slightly larger than sight.
Calculate torpedo course. Calculate torpedo course.
There's absolutely no reason for them to not be resolving that solution. Well, there's a cruiser and a battleship. Okay. They know I'm here now, so we'll radio into headquarters that we've spotted this convoy. And once he sends that radio message, we'll put him back on the hydrophone.
Aye, aye, sir.
And I admittedly haven't been watching my war correspondent. Been kind of distracted by something else here. I can't imagine what it was. And I took him to warm up the torpedo, and my speed dropped from 10 to 7. That maybe couldn't afford that. But I needed another torpedo warmed up. Because he is almost in range to start visibly working on a solution. As soon as that torpedo is warmed up, I'll put him back on the engines. We'll go back to 10 knots instead of 7. Do we have a speed for this guy yet? Not yet. Come on, get that torpedo warmed up. There you go. Thank you. Now get back on the engines. Get me back up to speed. Here we are, 8 knots. 9 knots. Now we're back up to 10 knots. This ship is around 4,500 tons. He's not a little itty bitty one. He's not a great big C3 type Liberty ship either, but he's a good size. We have a 49% solution, 50. He's got us 4% on this tanker. Uh-oh.
Calculate torpedo course. Set a course to these coordinates.
Affirmative.
We're slowing down. We're slowing down.
Destroyer at
11 aye, aye, sir.
Set a course to these coordinates.
On duty. Skipper.
He's at a 62% solution. I don't like it, but I'm taking it.
Blood tube 4.
Tube 4, ready.
Fire.
Skipper. Skipper.
Calculate torpedo course. Change course.
On duty.
He's at 34 knots.
We're slowing down.
Means he's
We're
closing
slowing
hard.
down.
Solution's only 29%.
Calculate torpedo course.
Skipper.
Calculate torpedo course.
About a mile away. You slowed down to 26 knots. I'm doing 8 in reverse, so he's still closing at 18 knots. We'll slow down.
Faster! Faster!
He sped back up to 28. I'm down to 6. He's closing now at 22 knots. 71% solution.
We're slowing down!
Skipper. Move! Come on, quickly!
He's inside of a mile range. 85% solution.
Faster! Faster!
The torpedo is halfway to the target.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Yes, sir.
He slowed down to 24 knots.
Faster! Faster! Flood tube 1. Flood tube 2. Flood tube 3.
Tube 1 flooded. Tube 3 flooded.
Fire!
Seconds.
We're slowing down.
30 seconds. 40 seconds to torpedo impact. 20 seconds. 30 seconds. 10 seconds to impact. 20 seconds. It's a hit. You scored a hit.
Both of them hit
Major
him. He's
hull
done.
damage. Major hull damage. 10 seconds to impact.
And we missed him.
Calculate torpedo course. Calculate torpedo course.
Yeah, both destroyers.
It's a miss.
And here comes a third one.
Hull breached. They're sinking. Tube 4 loaded. Move! Come on, quickly!
And I have fired off 5 torpedoes. Right, 2, 4, 5. We could get stupid lucky yet with this guy. But I highly doubt it. Because it would be stupid lucky.
Skipper. Skipper.
Calculate torpedo course.
13% solution on the one tanker. We're no longer going to be able to chase him down. We have a patrol craft there. We have a destroyer there. We have a cruiser coming towards us. No, we don't. Okay. We have 2 cruisers and a battleship there. if they get a firm idea of where we're at and they start lobbing shells at us, even submerged, they're going to destroy us. Excuse me. So what I'm going to try and do is get in a position to sink this tanker. And that's really going to be the extent of what I can try and get accomplished here. And I had it on pause for way too long. I'm sorry. Completely forgot that it was on pause, which is why the torpedo wasn't closing. It's why nothing was happening. We're back at regular time. We could maybe get just ridiculously fortunate here. It's actually looking like we might be close. I think it's going to cross in front of its bow, though. Oh, we just might get lucky. I think we did. I think we're going to put a torpedo into this tanker. No, there it is right there. It just went across the bow. It's right there. Yep. Damn. Close. Almost. %30 solution. We do not have a speed on him yet.
Change course.
Yes, sir.
We're making 9 knots. Trying to close on this Dale class tanker. You know, I've had the conversation with a number of gamers and subsims in the past and on subsim forums and such, and most agree not to attack the destroyers first. I have to wonder if the first sub to encounter a convoy had sunk a destroyer or two and then gotten away, and the next sub or two subs that encountered the convoy with those 2 fewer escorts available, would they have done more damage to the convoy? Or if the first 2 subs that encountered it sank the outlying escorts, then couldn't the rest of the subs kind of have a free-for-all with the convoy? I don't know.
Aye, aye, sir.
Now warm tube 1. 58% solution now on B. But they are weaving now. We've blown up 2 destroyers out here. They definitely know we're there. They are weaving. They are back and forth and back and forth. So we've got to get halfway close, but we're not going to have a realistic shot at sinking anything.
Set a course to these coordinates.
On your order.
And there is a 3rd destroyer.
Calculate torpedo course.
I still have a fantasy of attacking both tankers here. Oh, we passed just the stern of that cruiser. That's a 74% solution. $77. And that destroyer is coming into hydrophone range.
Calculate torpedo course.
Skipper.
79% solution on him. 11 here.
Skipper.
And 0 right now here. It's an 82.
Calculate torpedo course. Set a course to these coordinates.
Aye, aye, sir.
Calculate torpedo course.
Skipper.
Got everybody working on this guy right now. Back on your attack periscope where you're supposed to be. God damn it.
Skipper.
18% solution. Don't have a speed resolution on him yet.
Change course.
Aye, aye, sir.
Calculate torpedo course.
I'm making 9 knots towards him. He's making probably 20 knots towards me. We're closing very, very fast.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Aye, aye, sir.
We're slowing down.
Warm up our last bow torpedo.
Set a course to these coordinates.
You know what?
Calculate torpedo course.
Copy.
Calculate torpedo course.
Skipper. Skipper.
We only have 3 bound torpedoes left. If I can get a solution on him in time, I can get a shot at him. I can get a shot at him. I'd rather engage the 2 Dale class tankers. Although going back to what I was just talking about a couple minutes ago, if I came in here and I sank 3 destroyers out of this convoy, it's going to make it a hell of a lot easier for the next sub or 2 that are going to maneuver in a position to intercept the convoy to do some real damage within the freighters and tankers. Or maybe even to get to the battleship or the cruisers. Who knows? Hell, I don't know. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of scenario.
Faster.
Get back on the engines, give me back my speed.
Faster.
He does not know where we are yet. That's good. %68% solution on A. 83 on him.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Copy.
Got both scopes above water too. Come on, there's an 80% solution. $83.
Calculate torpedo course.
There we go. 85 on A now. And Haganah is working on B with an 85. Why didn't I get... I must have forgotten to reload my stern tube back at port where we left. So I haven't fired a stern torpedo, and I don't have one in my storage bay for a reload. So I must have screwed up back at the very beginning. That was bad of me. That was very bad of me. Okay. Hey.
Flood 2-4.
Three-meter depth on the tanker.
2-4, ready.
Fire! Set a course to these coordinates.
Affirmative.
Calculate torpedo course. Flood 2-2.
Tube 2, ready.
Fire. Calculate torpedo course. Calculate torpedo course.
On duty. Skipper.
Calculate torpedo course.
One bow, one stern torpedo remaining.
The torpedo is halfway to the target. The torpedo is halfway to the target. Forty seconds. 30 seconds.
I think we're gonna get this guy. I think.
20 seconds.
Yeah, I think we got this one. Boom.
It's a hit.
Here we go. How big of a hit? Not that big of a hit.
Set a course to these coordinates.
On duty.
Not that big of a hit.
Seconds.
Calculate torpedo course. Calculate torpedo course.
I think we're going to get this one too.
20 seconds.
Or did we just miss him across the bow? We just missed him across the bow.
10 seconds to impact.
Yep, we missed him across the bow. Here comes the cruiser. Oh, no, that cruiser's not coming at us. But this guy is not sinking either.
Yes, sir. It's a miss.
He's going to need another hit.
Change course.
He's
Yes,
still
sir.
making 5 knots.
Calculate torpedo course.
Skipper.
One, two, one.
Go to a 4-meter depth.
Tube 1 flooded.
Fire! Set a course to these coordinates.
Leaves me a stern
Yes, sir.
torpedo for him. Assuming this hits. If this doesn't hit, I'll be using my stern torpedo again on him. Now, we have not gotten credit for any tonnage sunk. Those 2 destroyers do not count toward our 4,000 tons. Warships do not count toward your tonnage. This is strictly freight tonnage. So if this does not sink this guy, I have to keep my stern torpedo for him. It's my last torpedo. And I have to get my tonnage to get my mission achievements.
40 seconds to torpedo impact.
Set a course to these coordinates.
On your order. 30 seconds.
That's looking like a very definite hit.
Twenty seconds. It's a hit.
Okay, yeah, now she's done.
Serious damage.
Now she's done. And all that oil's on fire now.
Sinking.
And there goes about 7,000 or 8,000 tons.
Change course.
Aye, aye, sir.
Calculate torpedo course.
Actually,
Set a course to these coordinates.
Aye, aye, sir.
holy shit. He's about to run over me.
Change course.
Aye, aye, sir.
Keep going that way. There's my boat right there.
Change course.
Copy.
There we are. Right here. There's our stern.
Change course.
Copy.
He is way too close.
Skipper.
Change course.
Affirmative.
He's making 6 knots.
Set a course to these coordinates.
On duty.
I need to be farther away from him than that line right there. I have to be beyond arming distance.
Set a course
That's going to be
these
our
coordinates.
intercept point right
On
there.
duty.
That's about 405 meters right there, 405 yards rather. I think, if memory serves, it's either 500 or 550 yards was arming distance. Yeah, see, that's only a cable. which is 200 yards. If the ship is pointed that way in reverse, it would be pointed here forward.
Faster! Faster!
Damn it.
Skipper.
Change course.
Yes, sir.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Give me some distance. I think I'm still too close. This cruiser is coming toward us.
Flight 2-5. Flooded. Fire!
Seconds.
150 meters.
Yes, sir. 30 seconds.
And it is 8 o'clock in the morning. Hagenau is not on shift, so we will let him go back to bed. There we go.
10 seconds to impact.
We have fired off all our torpedoes. Looks like it's a miss.
It's a miss.
Damn it. Okay, now, well, there's 2 destroyers over there looking for us.
We're slowing down.
60 meters.
Or is that one of the damaged ones that it didn't sink? Son of a bitch. That's a damaged one that did not sink, and I'm out of torpedoes. Okay, we're going to try and crawl away here. There's 2 cruisers looking for us. One of them's coming in to look for us. They're in the process of diving,
150 meters.
so we can hopefully avoid gunnery. Gunnery damage, that is. We'll see what we have going on here. Let's see. We're going to go to red lights, which sort of means silent running, I think. Excuse me. Can't believe he didn't sink. Damn. And with me being out of torpedoes, I gotta wait till this convoy moves by. Surface and deck got him. But this convoy needs to be long gone
Set a course to these coordinates.
before I do anything, even consider anything like that, because these cruisers and battleship can surface gun from a long ways. Right now, my objective is to sneak past this destroyer and these 2 corvettes, get south of this convoy. I only managed 1 freighter type vessel out of the entire convoy. That's kind of a disappointment. That's again partially because of my theory that a little bit of winnowing of the escorts is not always a bad thing. I think attrition of the escorts, a little more attention to that may have served the Kriegsmarine well. I could be dead wrong. I have no idea. I'm not a graduate of the War College or anything like that. Damn, there's another tanker. There was 3 tankers, a battleship, 2 cruisers, and that was a target-rich environment. I got 1 tanker. Kind of disappointed in that. Did sink, only 1 warship. The other one hasn't sunk yet. You do a little bit of 12 by time compression. Alright. Now we're way close to this guy, so we're going to slow down to 1.
Skipper, a ship is directly above us.
They do not appear to have picked us up on sonar. They had no reaction from either one of those 2 to our passing below. Here comes that cruiser. He is screaming in. Those 2 corvettes are screaming in.
Faster, faster!
I think we got away.
Change course.
I do believe we got away. All right. That cruiser can ride shotgun over this hull for a long time. I may end up having to wait till nightfall. Move off 4 or 5 miles south of here. And surface, or maybe just go to decks awash and wait till nightfall and then creep back in and take him with the deck gun. I'm not going to not sink him at this point if I can possibly get away with sinking him. I spent all my torpedoes. I need to get credit for the destruction of the warship. I got nothing to reload there. That's got to be I had to have forgotten and neglected to do that. Nothing to reload there. Yeah. I could really use more torpedoes. There's another destroyer there. We haven't gotten away yet. These guys can cover ground very, very quickly, particularly in comparison to the rate of speed that I can cover ground. Morale, got another half hour before morale starts to be a serious issue. Which at 5 knots is 2.5 nautical miles. That destroyer is moving out of hydrophone range. As is this target destroyer. And a cruiser. Let's make depth 100.
100 meters.
Or 99, that's good. 100, that's fine. It should have, and it did. It slowed the rate of depreciation on the discipline.
50 meters.
80 meters. 60 meters.
Periscope depth.
20 meters.
Okay, we are not going to surface just yet. They could see us, radio to them, and he could engage us from there with surface guns. So we're not surfacing just yet.
Periscope depth.
But we have, by virtue of not diving so deeply, but coming back up periscope depth, slowed down dramatically the rate of decline on discipline. And in fact, I think it would actually be reasonable at this point to shut off.
Skipper.
The alarm. We're not being prosecuted. We're not being prosecuted. We're not being searched for. That's to let me know the discipline is down to 20%. Okay, I am going to save the game here. Reason being, I'm not sure how visible I become at decks awash. So I'm going to find out. I'm going to go to decks awash, and if we get blown out of the water by the cruiser, I'll know we're too visible. Use this as a learning experience, and then I'll reload. Deck awash. Let's see what that does for our sight ring. Nothing. But we have gone to this, we're semi-surface, so he moves to the radio. So he can now radio in that we sank the destroyer and we sank the tanker.
Switch to diesel engines.
Okay, surface. %97 visible. Yeah, that doesn't make me feel good. Now, to be honest, what we're going to do why is discipline falling? We're at normal lighting. We're on the surface. I have the alarm shut off. I thought the alarm was shut off. Didn't I tell that guy to turn off the alarm? I thought I'd shut the alarm off. There. Now the alarm is off and discipline is improving. That's what I want.
We're slowing down. Alarm! Take your positions.
Shut the fucking alarm off.
On duty.
We're not being prosecuted. We're not being shot at. We're not being prosecuted. We're not being hunted or searched for. No reason to have the alarm on. Okay. We're just going to continue to move off very slowly here. Recharging our batteries a little bit as we go. And we are going to...
Take your positions.
God damn it. I said shut the alarm off. Apparently it's not going to let me just...
Faster. We're slowing down. We're slowing down.
Wonderful place where the boys in the trenches the foe have to face.
Yeah, that'll bring morale up a little better, a little quicker. 12 minutes of music and it'll be full up. And what we're going to do is wait for nightfall.
Quite soon we would be. But if war lasts till doomsday, I think we'll still be where old God.
Take your positions.
You know, game, when we've shut off the alarm, it should shut off the fucking alarm. And here's the problem I've got. It's been reported on the forum that once you move out of sight of something, the game removes it from the board. You know, like if it were a game board. You move out of sight of it, and after so long of being out of sight of it, it removes it from play. I don't want it to remove that destroyer. But I don't want to take an hour and a half to cover the rest of the day until nightfall, so I can go back and sync it.
We're slowing down. Set an interception course.
See, I want 1800 time compression, but it won't give it to me. So, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to pause the recording while I go to 48 time compression until nightfall. Because I'm just going to sit here. It's probably going to take half an hour, 40 minutes to go through the day. Let's see. 8 o'clock in the evening. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning now. 10 o'clock. So 10 hours at 48. Well, 10 hours at 1/10 would be 1 hour, 15 minutes. It's going to take 10, 15 minutes. And I'm not going to make you guys sit there and stare at this screen for 15 minutes while I wait for that to happen. So I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to spend 10, 15 minutes staring at the screen Then when it's evening, I'll start the recording again. Right, everything will be the same except for the time of day and visibility. And then I'm going to turn this around and go back to the hotspur and see if I can sync it with the guns. See you shortly, folks. Okay, it's 1700 now, 5 in the afternoon. And it takes just over a minute at 48 compression for an hour to go by. 1707, 1708, 1709, 1710. At 1800, I'm going to begin moving back toward the hotspur here, which is in 40 minutes, so about 45 seconds. In the meantime, we've done nothing but sit here all day. And now my radio guy says, to hell with that, I'm going to bed. There's 1738, 1739, 1740. Let's see here. 1752, 53, 54. Just about ready to start moving toward. We are about 5 nautical miles away. At 5 knots, it will take an hour to close. So, well, it won't take an hour. It'll take an hour to get there.
Skipper, enemy destroyer on the horizon.
Alarm! Take your positions.
And he has progressed no closer toward sinking. I am not going to try and surface gun from there. We go. It's beginning to get more difficult to see. I don't see the destroyer out there. I'm not going to try and surface gun from this range. First of all, I don't think you can from 4 miles. Secondly, I know I can't. It's been 8 hours now that the convoy has been moving on, even at 8 knots. They are now 60 nautical miles away. They are not going to be able to meaningfully engage me with surface guns for at least an hour of closure. And in less time than that, I will sink this bastard. There it is, 1900 hours. And you can just barely see the destroyer right there. Let's move the captain and his guys to the gun.
Faster, faster.
Let's close range a little bit while they're moving to the gun. Now we'll reduce speed.
We're slowing down.
So I do not want to run into the destroyer. There it is. Oh, I can just barely see it. I think that went over it. Huh. Okay, from this distance, it's hard.
Faster, faster.
You can't. Switch to HE ammo here. Here we go.
Faster! Faster!
Okay, where to go? Oh, we hit it a few times and she sunk. Where? Very good. That's what I wanted.
Set a course to these coordinates.
That was what I wanted. Okay, so now we resume our patrol. With no torpedoes remaining, we really don't want much in the way of a contact. We just want to get our mileage done. So we want speed 2. I'm going to go to 1800 time compression. We're still waiting. Oh hell, I didn't pay any attention to him to come up with an exclamation mark. Oh, his mission is done. The only thing we have left to do is the mileage in our patrol zone, which we will hopefully get about the time we get back to there. Given that convoy had the targets that it did and the number of ships that it did, I'm not happy only getting 3 sunk vessels out of it. I am not counting that as an overt success, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Set a course to these coordinates.
I think that's going to be pretty close to finishing off our patrol. There it is. Mission's complete. Patrol is complete. Send that radio report.
Set a course to these coordinates.
And now we return to port.
Aye, aye, sir.
So far we have survived the patrol mission, so to that extent it's a success. There's the BDU convoy report.
Skipper.
Of course, I have no torpedoes. Information that crucial technology has been loaded on the Empire Explorer. It must be sunk at all costs. Well, that's really too bad.
Set a course to these
2 to 4. We will hope it's utterly unescorted. We will hope it has no armed escorts with it. Now remember I'd said realistic bilge pumps. You see how we have water in here? Remember when we dove down to 150 meters? Okay. We had water leaking in through the propeller screw shafts and that kind of stuff. So now we need to get rid of that. Anyway, we were going to come over here and look at the deck gun ammunition status here. See, we still have more shells in there than it'll actually allow us to keep up there, so we can't bring any munitions up yet, despite having fired some.
Set an interception course.
Oh, this guy's going southward. We'd have to go 400 miles to intercept. Never mind.
Change course.
We're not going to do that.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Copy.
But that's an example of the BDU convoy reports. It points out, ooh, we just ran across. Are these friendlies? Who the hell knows what flags those are? 'Cause I don't. Red, yellow, red stripes. All right. Let's see. UBOATpedia. Let's see if there's got something in here. Yeah, it needs to have flags. So we're going to go to Google and say National Flags of World War II. Let's see, World War II database. Here's a list of German flags. No. Okay, so that is not a German flag. Red top and bottom, yellow in the middle. All right, I want Axis flags of World War II. Axis powers, Wikipedia. See if they show me the flags. Let's see here. And that is not an Axis power flag. Okay, so we will look at Allies flags of World War II. Let's see. Doesn't show up as an Ally flag. Neutral flags of World War II. Looks kind of like okay, so whose is that? Spanish flag. Looks like it's Spanish. Red over the top and bottom and yellow in the middle. I believe is a Spanish flag. So we go to this and say, go back to Google and replace neutral with Spanish flags of World War II. And yeah. Let me there we go. That's what I'm looking at on Google. Spanish flags. I'm thinking it's a variant of one of these. It's red, yellow, red. Just doesn't have the bird in the middle. So I'm thinking that's a Spanish flag. So we are not going to attack those boats, even if they are on the surface. We're just going to leave them be. I think the gray is the first indicator that those are neutral and not to be sunk.
Change course.
And I have to stay at 48 TC until they're out of play. Then I can go back to 1800 or 6500 TC to return to port and conclude our first patrol. Here we go, a travel mode.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Incoming transmission from BDU. I didn't have anybody on the radio.
Set a course to these coordinates.
My radio guy was asleep.
Skipper.
Transmission from BDU. Let's see what they say now. Small group of merchant ships heading southwest at 8 knots. They are right there, 1 to 3.
Set an interception.
We could move and try and intercept them. Maybe there's no escorts. We could take somebody with the deck gun. Get a little additional tonnage for our war record. Right now we've got 1 merchant ship and 2 warships sunk.
Faster! Faster!
Wouldn't be a bad idea to try to go back to port with a little more tonnage than that. Yes, it's a game. Yes, that's gaming. It sure is. So shoot me. Okay, now let's go down to periscope depth. Let's move our almost exhausted. Oh hell, he just went to bed. Let's move our captain here. Grumpy.
Aye, aye, sir.
Grumpy will man the hydrophone. Since his radio man just went to bed, exhausted, and I don't want to use a coffee for this.
Switch to electric motor.
Let's see if Grumpy can pick up anything on the hydrophone. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
We're slowing down.
Go to speed of 2 and see if that helps. Is it 3 o'clock in the morning? 2:30 in the morning? Yeah, visibility is shit. 2:30 in the morning, it's dark out. Grumpy is picking up nothing on the hydrophone. We're going to let Osterman sleep for a little while. Then we're going to wake his tired ass up with him on the hydrophone, because he's the guy that can do that really well. You're getting nothing. Ah, there we go.
Affirmative.
Nine miles, huh?
Set a course to these coordinates.
And we will surface and move 6 miles to there.
Switch to diesel engines.
Yeah, while that's happening, we are going to run our air compressors and refill our ballast tanks. Well, we move 6 miles at 10 knots an hour, so for half an hour, approximately. Which took next to no time at all at 1800 time compression. And there's that. We go down to periscope depth.
Periscope depth.
Now we're going to wake up Osterman.
Switch to electric motors.
On duty.
Okay. Find them, Osterman. Where the hell are they? Propeller noise. Good Lord.
Skipper, I've detected a ship.
A whole bunch of them. All right.
Set an interception course. Set an intercept. Alarm. Take your positions. Change course.
We have no torpedoes. So there's no point in
Blow the tanks.
staying submerged. Just hope that neither one of those is a C3.
Switch to diesel engines.
We are back on the surface now. Run our compressors. If one of them starts shooting back,
Set an interception course.
then we will know that he's a C3. Looks like visibility is about 1.5 miles. Maybe 2 miles. Tab menu, red light. There we go. Let's put the radio man on the radio for a moment. Since we're on the surface now, report that sighted. Now they're in sight. Let's see if either one of those is a C3. That is not an armed ship. That is not an armed ship. Okay, good. I'm also not going to try to engage them at a 2-mile range.
Set a course to these coordinates.
We will close range here. Looks like they're at about a 190-degree course. I'm closer to 210. So if I go to where they are right now,
Set a course to these coordinates.
I don't have to worry about bow to bow head on because they're angled well off to what will be my port side. And we're making 10 knots toward them. They're probably making 7 knots towards us. So 2-mile range, and we are closing at approximately 17 knots per hour. We have 1/8 of that distance to close, so we would be 12 minutes away from bouncing off of each other if we were on a dead collision course. Which, of course, we're not. Let's let range close a little bit here. 1 mile. And about 3/4 of a mile. There we go, about a 1/2 mile. Okay, Mr. Hagenau,
Skipper,
your turn to man the guns. We are not on a collision course, which is a very good thing. Oh, it looked like we had a lightning flash there. What's the weather here? 8-knot winds. And there they are. Now we only have 30 rounds loaded, 19 HE and 11 AP, and that's oftentimes about the amount of rounds it takes to sink a ship. So I'm not in any hurry to start shooting at max range, which, I mean, for the gun we're not at max range. But we've got a little bit of sea royal here. Our bow is bouncing up and down, which means our aim is a little bit inconsistent. I don't want to go wasting ammo because I don't have that much of it loaded for the gun in the first place. Yeah, see, that came up short. Damn. Hold still. There was a hit. Short. There's a hit. 2 for 4 so far. That's not a good ratio. Good. Short. More HE rounds, 11 AP.
We're slowing down.
HE round. Oh, it's AP.
Attention! Fire! Skipper.
No, don't fire. Leave the position.
Set a course to these coordinates.
He's barely damaged. He is barely damaged.
Faster, faster.
I need... Let's take a look at this ammunition situation here. I have in the deck gun 10 AP rounds. I need more ammo up there. I'm going to wake this guy up. Oldorp. And I'm going to tell Oldorp get ammo into the deck gun. You can only bring up 2 rounds at a time, but he can bring some up. Find and sink the Empire Explorer. Which is not this guy. Empire Bates. Neither one of those two. Which means it's probably one of those other two that were out here that I now have lost track of. That's alright. I only have the deck gun. And with the munition storage capability of it now, it is seriously limited in its effectiveness. And modifying the rearming of it, the reloading of it, from carrying 3 rounds at a trip to 2 rounds a trip, further decreases its your ability to rely on the deck gun.
Change course.
Can't believe all those hits with it on fire a couple times and it is undamaged, according to this little health bar down here. I told him to bring up AP rounds. He's bringing up HE rounds. That's good. I did say AP, right? Yeah, I said AP. They're bringing up HE. And they have brought up more than it can hold. So let's put... Put Hagenau back on the deck gun.
On duty.
Set a course to these coordinates.
It is slightly to my starboard and ahead. And they're bringing up more armament, more ammo. You have to wait for those two guys to get out of the way. There he is. Right there. Back to HE.
We're slowing down.
The deck is on fire. Attempt fire!
That should account for him. From the flames that are coming up off of him. He should burn.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Okay, now he's still bringing ammo, which is good. Now I'm going to close on this guy, and he should sink. The John M should sink now. He is heavily aflame. Come on. on, sink, damn you. Well, we're still going after the other one too. You're not going anywhere to speak of. Still making 6 knots. Yeah, now you're making 1 knot. There you go. There he's now. He's yeah. Now he's dwindling. It's sinking.
Hooray!
There he went down. All right. Let's put Kavanaugh and crew back on the deck yet again.
On duty.
Set a course to these coordinates.
As we are now moving
Finish
on
them
Empire
off.
Bay.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Yeah. I'll control you guys. You guys can't hit shit. These guys wouldn't hit the broadside of a barn if they were standing inside the barn.
Fire on board.
Okay, here we go.
On board.
Here we are. Ooh, fire is spreading. We like that from our position. I wouldn't like it for shit if we were on that merchant ship. Be seriously unhappy about it.
Attention.
Quit shooting! In the Empire Bay.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Will soon be history. You know, that makes the patrol a little bit more successful. We had a couple more kills. That one's only 2,800 tons. It's still, and I didn't really note the tonnage on, okay, I didn't note the tonnage at all on the first one. It was 2,879 tons. And it hasn't gone down yet. And I'm quite confident that it will. Stern is dropping, filling with water, which is putting the fire out. Is it gonna remain?
Change course.
Holy shit!
We're slowing down. We're slowing down.
Holy shit, we almost ran right into him. Damn, a bear. Oh, we just avoided a collision there.
Faster, faster.
That was almost a total and unmitigated disaster. We are still bringing up HE rounds. See, there it is right there. I mean, we just almost ran into it. There he goes.
Attention!
We're slowing down. Change course.
Became way uncomfortable close to running into that damn thing.
Set a course to these coordinates. Faster, faster. Faster, faster! Change course. Change course.
Here we go. Now we head back for home.
Change course.
Do we want to look for the Empire freighter?
Skipper.
Our hydrophone guy is exhausted. Need to give him a few hours here to... yeah.
Alarm. Take your positions. Change course.
We ran across one of those other convoys.
Skipper.
Could we get so lucky as to have that be the Empire Explorer? Holy shit, there's 4 of them here. Not a C3. Not a C3. Not a Liberty ship. Not a Liberty ship. Is one of these 4 maybe the Empire Explorer? Can we get that fortunate?
Change course.
Is there that much luck
Faster,
left in the
faster.
world? If one of these is the Empire Explorer, we want to make sure we target that ship. We want to identify. Apparently the mods take the names off the ships. It used to put the names on here. Now it doesn't. Which is okay, because this satellite view, if you want to call it that. They didn't have that in World War II. So, to be honest about it, removing that's not all that bad of an idea. Although, if you have an 80-ship convoy like that one, 60 ships in it, and you're trying to find one specific ship, having the names on the side of the ships really helped a lot. Not having it on there kind of sucks in that scenario. Similar to the Empire Tower. It's a 4,300 ton. See if we can identify some of these bastards. Or any of them, because so far we haven't identified any of them. Let's try something else. No. The names have been removed. Attack that one. Type 9B. Not familiar with the Type 9B. Now all of a sudden I want to look that up. Google Type 9B. German sub. Designed by Germany in 35 and 36 for sustained operations far from home. 290 were planned. It was built from 37 to 45. 48 man to 56 man crew. So the Type 9 was a long range boat. Okay. Learn something every day. Find the Empire Explorer. We have 4 unidentified freighters out here.
Change course.
We need to identify. Okay, one's an NA1. That's this guy. They're small, 2200. Similar to the Empire Explorer. Similar to the Empire Belle. This is probably our target ship right
Set
there.
course to these coordinates.
I told you to attack him. Now do it. Now attack him. Oh, damn. Fire to him. Okay. Let's see if you got hits. That one, no. And that one, no. Oh, that one you hit. You hit with one. You might get him. He's a small boat, 2,800 tons. You fired at him. I told you to.
Change course.
I told you to attack him. The Allied boats really don't listen for shit. He's making 6 knots still. But it looks like he might burn up and go down. Pretty sure this is our real target right here. Find the Empire Explorer. This is similar to the Empire Explorer. 5,800 tons. Did he hit him with his last shot? No. He missed with all of them. Firing at that range, once they know you're there and they're weaving, then the entire belt got sunk. The nice thing is, even though we didn't do it, the ally did it after we told him to attack him. We get credit for it. I like that. This is who we're after right here.
Faster! Faster!
Fire on board.
Ooh, 2 hits. That's going to take him down. Sure as hell should.
Hooray! Let's sink it.
Empire Explorer sunk. Mission accomplished. Okay. We'll sink one of these guys in. We don't care.
Change course. We're slowing down.
Okay, get on your deck gun. Where are they for those with me? They are
Set a course to these coordinates.
slightly off
Faster,
the
faster.
port side bow. There they are. There and there. Which one is closer? I think this one is. Hard to say, actually. This is the one more likely to ram us.
We're slowing down.
Fire on board.
We're slowing down.
That's came up short. Where's this other one? Short.
The deck is on fire. Fire! Fire!
Let's take a look and see what our status is here.
Change course.
Go after him. Why are we only making 4 knots? There we go. He's damaged. He's still making 5 knots and running away. Tell him to attack that guy. While they rearm your deck gun, you'll go back on observation post. While you work on closing range to catch him, and then you'll come back up after him in a little bit. We're going to go for both of these guys. Yes, this is gaming. Absolutely. I'm gaming this entirely. Okay, let's get back on the deck gun. There's the one we'll come back and get for right now. Why does it not? Empire Explorer has been found and sunk.
Faster! Faster!
Alright. At least these are a little rough, aren't they? Came up short. Oh, that was definitely short. About all of a sudden bottomed right out. Is it listing a bit? I think it's listing.
On board. They are sinking.
Sweet. I think that went a lot quicker than I really expected to. Now we'll come back up after him. Oh. Did the burning finally get to him?
Set a course to these coordinates.
Lifeboats are coming out.
slowing down. We're slowing down.
And now she's going down. Okay.
Set a course to these coordinates.
Okay, now I do believe we're all done.
Change course.
Now we head for home. Again. Maybe we'll actually make it this time. Well, ridiculously ineffective actually with the torpedoes. Right off, all my torpedoes sank 3 boats. Actually, I guess I should say I fired off all my torpedoes but 1, which I forgot to load onto the ship in the first damn place. Sank 3 ships with those, 2 destroyers and a tanker. And then got credit for 2 ships that an Allied sub sunk. And sunk 4 ships with the deck gun. One of which was the damaged destroyer, so that's can't count it twice. Okay. Try and get us back into port here. Comment down below, guys. Give me a like, hit that subscribe. If these videos are something you like, let me know that. I'll be happy to do more. If you'd like to live stream, let me know that. I am going to try and set up a live stream. Solasta is a Dungeons and Dragons game that I really like. The full release for that has been in EA for a few months. I've done a 12 video playthrough on their winter upgrade, which was in December. They just did their spring upgrade March 25th. May 27th, that is set for full release. So I am planning on doing a live stream that day of the full release of Solasta. More information on that as time moves forward and things progress. In case you haven't been able to tell from the videos I've done so far, I do not have an audio engineer that I work with. I do not have a video engineer that I work with. So the live stream will be just like these videos are, except it'll be live. It'll be me with my laptop and my little headset here. And I'm doing the best to figure it out how to do all this stuff that... Well, teaching an old dog new tricks here. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Here we are, 6,500 time compression. I am probably going to... That sounded like thunder and lightning. 25 knot winds. Yeah, we got ugly weather right now. A small group of merchant ships observe courses eastward bound at 13 knots. They're way up here headed east. We're not even close to any position to intercept those. We're not going to bother with it. Oh, we have another BDU message here. And we missed it. We didn't have anybody on the radio. Oh, gee. Isn't that a shame? We missed that one. I guess we'll just have to continue back to port since we don't have any more torpedoes anyway. Ugh. Missed with far too many of them. Okay, here we go. Screaming into port at 6,500 time compression. And boom, it slows us down. Once you get so close, it eliminates the time compression, which is a good thing because if it hadn't, we'd have run right over the pier. One of the mods, I don't know which one, probably one of the expanded ports, I think it is, which is a part of the UBE mod now, I think interferes with the auto docking. The vanilla game, I could click on the port and it'll come in, swing itself around and dock properly. Now it runs right up over the pier. Your boat ends up in the bow way up in the air, its stern underwater, and its hull sitting on the pier. It's a disaster that way. That's not good. So you manually dock your boat, which we will do momentarily here. It doesn't take but 2 minutes total time, thereabouts from right now, for example. In about 120 seconds, we'll be docked, roughly speaking. Those of you who just started your stopwatches. For purposes of this conversation, 120 seconds and 300 seconds is the same thing. See this pier right here? You see how this is right across the top? Yeah, just go boom, right up on there, and then you're, yeah. Not good. So we turn. Then we approach the docking area and we reduce speed.
We're slowing down. Set a course to these coordinates.
And we reduce time compression from 48 to 12.
Set a course to these coordinates. Change course.
There we are. We're docked. Okay. Let's see what we got credit for and didn't. It still says find the Empire Explorer, but we reported it sunk, so how did we not find it? That should have come off the board. Okay, what did we get here? Iron Cross second class, Iron Cross first class for our XO, and part of the way toward his German Cross in gold. And Grumpy, Captain Grumpy, he gets his Iron Cross second class, he gets his Iron Cross first class, gets his German Cross in gold, and starts earning his Knight's Cross. Okay, we got the 8,000 maximum budget boast, we got the radio officer, we got credit for 32,000 tons, we did not get credit for finding the Empire Explorer, but we got credit for sinking the Empire Explorer. That makes no sense. If we got credit for sinking it, how the hell did we fail to find it? Oh well. Wait a minute. It didn't say anything about the destroyers. Oh, that's probably where we got some of the points for the awards for Captain Grumpy. Alright, let's take a look. Let's go to tabs menu, normal lighting, there we go. And then let's take a look at our storage room here. Yeah, we're running out of foodstuffs here. How did we get, oh, the guys made spare parts out of the garbage that we had. See, 29 rounds, that's what the gun will hold now, the deck gun. We need food desperately. We have canned bread, we have veggies, and we have pork. Okay. Let's see what kind of missions we have to choose from here. Some of the missions involve using experimental torpedoes, and they will give you those. So I want to see if we have one of those available to us. Since they do, it's that many fewer torpedoes we need to take. Ooh, we can get another ossifer. A mechanic type. No. We're going to do another officer, the mechanic type guy. We're going to do that one right there. Okay, so we're not going to get free torpedoes. This is what, canned bread that we have in the galley storage, 120 of them. Yeah, 120 kilos of canned bread in the galley storage. God, that's a lot of bread.
What do you need, officer?
120 kilos, 240 plus 24, 264 pounds of bread. That's a lot of bread. All right, items. Even on hard, we have massive budget now. I want 3 coffees. Torpedoes. Because I'm a cheap bastard, I'm going to stay with the T1s for free. Fuel, fill it up. Food. That's canned meat, that's canned bread. We have 24 canned bread. I want 26 more. Which will make 50. I want 40 more fruits and vegetables. And I want 36 cheese. And 25 pork. No. I want 50 sausage. Okay. Equipment. I have 4 med kits. I want 1. I want 4 scrap metals. My guys can turn those into spare parts. Ammunition. I do not want my 5-star shells, man. I want those 88 rounds. Okay, let's load that shit on boat. And then we'll see where we are. Okay, let's take a look at our bow torpedoes here. Put it on pause. Bow torpedoes. We are fully loaded. We have room for 5 to reload with. Stern should now be loaded and have room for 1. It is. So we have room for 6 torpedoes. Let's come over here to the galley storage. Let's put the canned bread with the canned bread. And let's put that there. And we'll put that there. And we'll put 20 cheese in there. And there's that. I think I want some more cheese. I want 14 more cheese, and then I want more 88 rounds, and I want more torpedoes. Oh, we'll come into here. We come to show me what you got there, Supply Sergeant. Food. I want 14 more cheese. That gives me 30 and 20, and the galley is 50 cheeses. Do I want anything else there? No, I want torpedoes. That'll be a T2, and that'll be a T2. And then I want more 88 rounds. So bring that stuff on board. Okay. Now we look at our bow torpedoes, fully loaded in the tubes. We are loaded in our supply racks with 2 full reloads for the bow. The stern, we have 1 tube, it's loaded. We have 1 storage rack, it's loaded. We come to our galley storage. We combine those. We combine those. We move that to there. We move that to there. Thought I had 4. There we go. Okay. So we have 50 cheese, 50 sausage, 50 canned bread, 100 fruit, 50 pork. Potatoes would be nice, but we're okay. We have cheese and sausage and bread and red cheese and pork. And yeah, we got good stuff there. Okay, we could take more ammo, however.
Skipper?
I like having bullets.
What do you need, officer? Take a look.
We got more spare parts we can take. We'll do that. Let's load that up. Those weren't spare parts. That was scrap metal. There's that. Okay, we have 56, 112, 121, 142, 150 rounds now for the 88, and no more than we can store up there. That's a bunch. We have full loads on torpedoes. We did get a new crew guy. Now to use him, because we don't have authorization for the extra officer, though we have the extra officer. So we come back into headquarters here to the lead officer, and we say, I want to ask for favors. Officer limit increased to 6. See, we have 1 prestige point up here. We're going to spend it. That's green. Now we can have 6 officers on board the ship. So we come up here to management, and we bring our extra communications officer on board. So now we go to schedule. Our senior communications officer will be on board with yours truly, Captain Grumpy. The new guy will be on with Haganah. Now we come down here. You'll be a radio officer. Make him match the other radio officer. Okay. So there is that. Now we come over here and we say we want to give him 2. All right, now we're going to go and we're going to recruit 3 enlisted guys.
Captain, this may be your new crew.
Hopefully.
Let me know if you want to see their files.
We will recruit 1 anyway, maybe 3. Remember, we can go to 27. I'm not going to go to 27. He hates service in the Army. He needed to learn discipline. I don't need him on my submarine. He can repair anything with... Yeah, we want to recruit him. Herwatz. Beginning of the war toward his plans, he volunteered to serve on the submarine. Okay, we'll give him a chance. Earl. Joined to make it easier to score. Yeah, okay, we'll pass on him. Due to anything else to do, he joined the Kriegsmarine. He didn't have anything else. No, that's not who we want. Favorite of colleagues and in the barracks. See, car mechanic, he can fix anything. Yep, we'll hire him. Okay, so we recruited 3 more guys. So we go to the crew management screen here. Oh, hell. Didn't bring them on yet. Okay. Don't know why. So just for this, because I don't know why, we're going to do this. Hi guys, we're going to take a little vacation. My crew needs a break. French campsite. Just, yep, here we go. 2 weeks. Crew vacation started. Yada, 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 yada. They're camping on the in the French countryside. Blah, 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 blah. Chasing French girls. Drinking French wine. Two more days. Okay. Now will you let me add those guys to my crew? Please, please, please. Oh, it did add them. 24. I think it might have done that before. I don't know. Alright, so we have 11 sailors assigned to the crew. Let's make it 12. 14. 16. 18. For sure on at any given time. 12 on the shift. 2 with the leader. 2 with the mechanic. 2 with the communications officer. That makes 18. Could have all 24 if I had all my officers working at the same time. So, yeah, we'll go to 12 sailors on the shift. There we go. And we will save this game. Ready for patrol number 2. There we are. And folks, we're going to call that a wrap as soon as this gets done right here. If you would, like I said, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. If I'm doing a tactic that you just think is dumber than shit, other than, because I'm not changing this, okay? Not going to do it. I am not going to go to manual targeting solutions. I insist that my officers do something. They will do their own damn targeting solutions. That's not going to change. Other than that, if you think I'm doing something that you just find dumber than hell, say so. That's spent 18 years in the Army. You're going to have to do something more than that to offend me. You can piss me off. I am a grumpy old dude after all. But not going to offend me that way. Feel free to state your thoughts. Share your ideas. Let me know if you like this. Don't like it. If there's another game you really, really, really want to see, let me know that. I may be able to do it. Hit that like button. Subscribe. I hope you enjoyed today. Hope to see you again on the next one. Until then, stay the hell off my lawn. Thanks a lot, folks. Do take care. Bye-bye.